I'm Lauren.
And I'm Jerri.
And I'm Chian.
And we are Two Drinks In.
And some.
Always.
Hello.
And welcome back.
Hey,
it's been a while, right?
Big facts.
A long time.
I miss y'all.
Don't let's get emotional already. Let's not do that. We're gonna climb into our feelings in a minute. I'm sure.
Last night was our first night, like all three of us together in a while. And it was amazing. We had an amazing time.
We did.
I got so bent, guys. I'm sorry, but thank you for making me drink water. Because listen, good friends help you hydrate. Okay,
hydration is the key.
Come on.
The food, the vibes, the alcohol.
Yeah.
It's always a good time. It's always a good time by you. Mm-hmm. Always.
My family kind of cool for you.
Yeah, they are.
I fought with them a little bit.
Yeah. You're lucky.
Listen, her mom is the only one that gets me to drink liquor. Only
Big person. My mom is put shots on thing in Jerry's hand. Normal. It's true though.
Mm-hmm. But yes, guys, it's so good to be back.
It's great to be back.
Season 2!
We are ready. And I think we've had a really, really good start to the season. I really enjoyed today.
Yeah. So this season, we're doing things a little bit.
We like to switch things up. But
a slight formatting change in how we're going to be doing things.
So we're going to start, as always, with us doing some popular discussions, popular topics. And we're going to then, after that, we're going to go into our little interviews where we meet with people.
Yes.
Wonderful people that we know and we love.
People who are awesome.
Yes, you're right. Can we pull that back?
Come on, pull it together.
You are right. Yes, let's give it the energy. We are going into our interviews.
Yes.
The interviews.
The fabulous interviews with people who have brilliant ideas, brilliant perspectives, who are doing things, honey. Yes.
Thank you.
The kind of guests who are giving.
Giving it all. Who we look up
have to shimmy.
Always shimmy.
I found myself doing that shit too. I don't know where it came from.
Because our guests be giving. They really do.
They really do, you know. They really do. So we have lots of wonderful conversations coming up.
That's true.
I mean, we have lots of little surprises coming up too. Lots of little pieces of news.
So you know what you need to do. Like, share, subscribe.
Smash that like button.
Listen to me. Get familiar with that notification button. Okay? The little bell. Get to know her.
Get to know her.
And what have they missed? Some things have happened.
Oh my God.
Things have happened.
Girl, put your hand a little further forward, like. Are they seeing the bling?
That bling.
Yes, honey. I need a light on that. No, but seriously. Congratulations.
Thank you. A lot has happened. A lot has happened in these past couple of months.
Yeah.
And we hope that you're going to be here with us for this whole journey.
Yes.
We have lots of wonderful things in store for you.
We'll be breaking things down like usual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
We can't wait to see you. And big ups to Shani, who's our guest.
Big sexy, as she told me to refer to her.
Oh my gosh, she said, but only
today.
Okay, like no, don't take it into tomorrow. She said this is for now.
Only for now.
On an honest note, though, we really, really, really enjoyed that episode.
Yeah. We really did.
I had a good time filming today. I haven't had a good time filming in a while. But I feel like today, like our first day back, it's been really, really good.
It hit the way it was supposed to hit.
It was.
Yeah. All the right notes.
Right? I feel a little smarter now.
A little bit, right?
Which is because I'm definitely a little drunker.
I think you made me like still drunk, just a little bit.
Girl, the alcohol from last night is still here, honey. It was enough. I am still marinating.
Listen,
I'm pretty sure.
Girl, well, you know us. We always do drinks.
We need to have your mom on an episode.
You know what? I don't think she's going to do it.
I was actually...
To be honest, right? Like... We would have to get her drunk already. So we'd have to like film it at my house.
Yeah.
And get her drunk already and then be like, oh, can we interview you? Like that's the only way that's happening.
We can trick her into it.
We will.
I love
my mom is actually really shy. I kid you not.
Seriously?
Believe it or not, she's really shy.
Shan.
She doesn't like to speak. So like she's good at it, but she doesn't like to do it.
That made me why I love her so much.
Yeah.
I recognize her energy. She's a kindred spirit.
Kindred spirit, right?
I was about to say like,
Listen,
how do we even have her on a podcast?
I'm like, not my Jerry. My Jerry.
Girl, you're Jerry.
I want to know if y'all ever come for me calling Jerry.
Big
Jerry
facts.
is that friend. You call her Jerry, no? You won't come for me, talk to Jerry.
Big facts. Come on. She'll put you in your place.
I will definitely put you in your place. And then go back to being shy afterwards.
It's always like, you shy.
But we want to say thank you so much for joining us again. For those of you who have been here from the first.
We hope you've missed us.
You know what I'm saying? And those of you who are just joining us, if this is your first intro, like, welcome to the party, honey.
Welcome.
Yes. So welcome to the party.
Crazy over here.
Yes. And if you're not drinking while you're watching this, if you are also not 2 drinks in,
you're doing it wrong, baby.
come on, man.
Exactly.
Pull yourself together. What are your
tipsy
tipsy thoughts?
It can be juice if you don't partake in alcohol.
Yeah. Because there's other ways to get sweet.
Oh God.
We encourage sweetness.
Yeah.
But seriously though, we hope you guys enjoy this season. I'm already looking forward to it. Like,
I am.
The things on paper are
And the things off of paper, the things we have coming up in our lives. I mean, it's going to be a good season.
Yes. One more time.
The things we have coming up in our lives.
Does she give dancer? I think she gives dancer. I think she learned how to move her body correctly.
Right?
Yes.
So stay tuned. We can't wait to have this journey with y'all. We do have some big things coming up.
We do.
Follow us on Instagram,
on all of the
YouTube,
2 drinks in
on all of our platforms. 2 drinks in BB.
Hello.
And if you're following us on YouTube, we want you to, because we can't forget it.
Come on.
Smash that like button.
Smash it.
Click on that notification bell.
Click on that bell, baby.
And hit subscribe. Yes,
Because
baby.
that way we'll be in your inbox.
Subscribe to the vibes.
Yes. Subscribe to the vibe.
Always. And welcome back.
It's clear that we haven't done this in a while.
It's been a minute.
Bye, guys.
We hope you guys miss us.
Did y'all?
Like and subscribe.
Yes.
We got it in so early this time.
Right?
I'm so proud of us.
Before we get tipsy.
It's like we went away and we came back as professionals.
Pros. We know what to do.
Did we?
That's what you just gathered?
Yes.
Fair enough.
You're not allowed to roast us.
Right? And we
On
haven't
our
even introduced her
podcast.
yet. She's already flaming us.
We don't even need to at this point.
Fair enough.
So
Oh my
today
gosh.
with us, we have Shani.
Bannister.
Boom.
She's already been over all of my random noises for the night. I just want you guys to know. She's already over it.
I just feel like y'all
we've only just
placed
started.
me next to the wrong person, but that's
Because I'm fun.
that's a personal feeling. Anyway,
Ignore her. They have similar energy. We feel like you should introduce yourself.
Ooh.
okay.
What you do,
what
who
I
you
do
are.
with that?
Whatever
how
you
do
wanna
I-
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, whatever.
Okay, cool. I'm Shani Bannister.
Hey.
I feel like I'm just sexy. Like there's really nothing
Yes.
else to
Shani.
Come on, no. We love this opening energy.
say. Yeah, just sexy, queer, and sexy again. So yeah.
All right.
I love that. I think that was the best introduction we've had
To be honest,
ever.
solid.
Hi, I'm Shani.
And I'm
I'm
sexy.
I'm queer. And I'm just
sexy.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah, there's a thing about giving facts that I would just really like to do.
You're into it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm vibing with it. I like it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jerry.
I'm officially gonna start doing that.
I am very used to Shani. I've known you for how long now?
Longer
Ever?
than
Like
my
7.5-ish
brain actually
years?
Is it 7?
Yeah. I've known you for about as long as I've been with Amory.
The problem is, like,
Wow.
my first recollection of you is me talking to a curtain.
She was, yeah.
So
A curtain.
Actually, at Mahalia's corner.
Okay.
I'm sure Mahalia saw her as well.
Okay.
yeah.
She was drunk though.
Oh,
You were
nice.
talking to a curtain. I remember that actually.
She was flirting with the curtain.
I remember that.
She wasn't just having
The
a
curtain was
conversation.
giving what it was supposed
she
to
was
give.
flirting with the curtain.
You know, if more men would talk to curtains, we'd all be in a better place. I'm just saying.
we would not.
We would.
They'd have
because
better lanes.
They'd stop cheating.
Oh, that too. That too.
Yeah, the curtain.
You know what? I'll give you that one.
Didn't make me do anything inappropriate. So
nailed it.
Good to go.
I mean, that's a solid point.
I mean, who can argue with it, right?
You know?
Okay.
So tell us about what you do for a living.
Yes.
Because I still don't know, like, fully what she does for a living. Just like that is a lot of things.
I think, really... I'm a communication specialist for humanitarian aid organizations. I think if I break that down, I'm a graphic designer, multimedia artist, and like strategic communication specialist. And I prefer to use my skills to support humanitarian aid organizations as opposed to the private sector. Yeah.
I love that.
Wow.
I love that for you.
That actually gave me like
Right?
like warm and fuzzies. Like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, like where are my humanitarian efforts?
Yeah, look, I started in a courts call center telling people that they owe money. So, gotta start somewhere.
I like it.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Something like that.
Oh my gosh. So what is your favorite thing about your job, do you say?
I think anytime you can actually see your work in the field or like actual communities benefiting from the things that you put out, I think what communications is to me is focusing on the similarities between humans. So not so much like, what makes us different, but what makes us similar. So why the airplane icon works in an airport, for me, it's always what we can find synonymous with each other. And I just like when okay, this has helped somebody understand something.
Yeah.
Because I think we forget everyone doesn't understand things the same way.
Yeah.
But if we can package it in one way and people can understand it with the format, then I'm good to go. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
We love that for you. Do you actually enjoy like the traveling bit of it?
I do, except for the fact that me personally, I have a lot of anxiety. So when I get to the airport, like I'm just like, oh Lord. If they ask me if I've done something, I'm probably gonna say yes because I just want to get rid of the conversation.
Oh my God.
So from that perspective, yeah, it's twofold. But I do enjoy it. I mean, I didn't have a passport until I started doing this type of work. So
I actually wanted to bring that up with you.
Yeah.
That was like the first time you traveled, and within the space of 2 weeks, she'd already been to 2 completely different countries.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So from that perspective, look, I've seen some things and I've experienced some things. And I think traveling, regardless of what you think your budget is, seeing different parts of the world is essential, I think, to growth.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, yeah, it's helped me a lot. And I think also, too, as a queer person in Barbados, like sometimes we forget that we are accepted and we're normal. And I had to go to other spaces to realize that. So,
Yeah.
I love that for you. I feel like you've grown so much. I think that you don't see it, but we do.
I mean, I definitely have grown horizontally. I've gotten fat.
So can my next question be about the food? Because I be living.
She didn't like it when she was in Germany. Actually, once you told me that you really, really enjoyed your food and the pictures were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Where was that?
On her birthday.
Yeah.
So traveling food ways is not necessarily always very fun for you.
Regional travel, I'll say yes. Caribbean people, there's nobody that can do it better.
All the vibes and the spices.
Exactly. But I think once I entered Europe, like, yeah.
Things got a little different.
She was begging for hot sauce on a regular basis.
Start to recognize how important packing your suitcase the right way is. I didn't like German food. But what was accessible in terms of if I wanted to try Vietnamese or I wanted to actually have Indian food that wasn't weird. There are a lot of options there in terms of experiencing different cultures and their food. And I think from that perspective, yes, those things were amazing.
Yeah.
But actual German food, I wouldn't say that's my thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I get that.
I can't bet. I watched this cooking show. And Germany was actually on the list of places I wanted to go because they had this really cool restaurant where like the center of the restaurants is this like giant staircase, right? And then you get to the top and it's this round thing with that giant hole from the staircase and just windows, and everyone's like seated next to a window, and the food just comes out like this thing. So it almost feels like a atrium or like a solarium, whatever you want to call it, like just a very sunny space. It has so many plants and the food looks so good. I cannot remember the name of it, but I promised myself that I would go back to the Germany episode of that show specifically so that when I do travel there, like that's the thing.
No, I gotta watch this show.
Yeah. Do any of you guys drink beer?
Yeah, I love beer.
I'm not a beer person.
What I will say is beer in Germany was bar none. Like you're not going to get a better experience. I think also too because of the climate and like things not getting super heated quickly. It was great. Like beer actually became something I enjoyed. So,
Wow.
I had bar hop.
So we're taking you there.
Oh yes. Beer and wine for me, and I'm good to go.
Did you enjoy the sausage?
On many levels, no, Lauren.
The fundamental, it is meat that comes from a pig or beef.
I do
For many animals.
Yeah, I feel like the weird thing was like, so there they'll do it like boil it or fry it and whatever, and people will eat it with like honey mustard or whatever the case was. Whereas my Caribbean self was like, let me dice this up and put this in some pasta and like make this taste good. And I was judged heavily.
For seasoning?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
But I actually really like sausages. And I remember I remember being in the UK and like you can get like German sausages.
Yeah.
And they were like really good.
Yeah.
But then that's the thing, like, is it really German or is it somebody trying to create German sausages and trying in all sorts of
But seasoned properly?
yeah.
I will say it wasn't bad. It just, we are so accustomed to a flavor that's like hitting you in your face.
Yeah.
So for me, it was okay. It just wasn't amazing.
But we don't do subtle here.
No.
So I get you.
I have this Eve breakfast sausage. It comes in a little tray. Not the ones in the packs.
I know what you mean.
The ones in the tray. And when I tell you, whenever I go away, I look for sausages. And sorry, I had to do it. Right?
Sometimes she takes the sausage with her.
When I don't take the sausage with me.
Oh, we should do this.
Right?
We should do this
I'm
now.
waiting for like a second, I have to give it its own moment.
Yes.
I feel like we'd be going for at least 30 minutes.
Ooh.
Somebody has noticed something.
There has to be some sort of unusual sparkle happening over there.
Yeah, some glitter.
Some glitter that wasn't there before, And while we're on the topic of sausage, she's found her forever sausage.
Forever sausage.
That makes one of us. I support you. I support you. For sure.
But congratulations! Lauren is now engaged.
So I'm not sure if y'all remember, but a couple episodes back, and I'm gonna link it in the comments. Actually, y'all link it in the comments where we talk about the fact that I was getting married in 2022.
Where we
said
it, winking,
And we were all like,
and staring at the camera,
I can't wait.
and staring at Avery
Yeah.
behind the camera.
Every time she says something.
These, right? I had to like bring it down a level because I forgot we were filming. These
Lovely young ladies.
Am I allowed to curse? I'm allowed to curse? These motherfucking bitches. Right?
Not the girl with any back of the arm.
All the way to the back.
That could just be a bleep, bleep, bleep.
I feel that.
Had the ring in Barbados between their houses. Right?
It was by me for at least a week.
All the things.
Yeah.
And have me on camera here talking and planning. And I got engaged on the day before my birthday. Russell was going to Europe on my birthday. So, I wasn't happy.
Yeah, she was not pleased.
But I couldn't be vexed because it was Europe. Like, he had gigs in Europe.
Yeah, like,
So,
hey.
supportive Lauren is like, my man going to Europe to play. selfish. And I was like, he leaving on my Russell birthday.
The nerve, the gumption.
Exactly. So see me there again, ready on the phone with these two, being like, I don't want to go. I gotta go. You know?
And we were like, of course you have to go. You have to support Russell on his last day in Barbados.
Okay.
It's very important. And also you should dress up. Just, you know, by
just
the
to
way.
make yourself feel good. Like,
Right.
But that's really cute.
So I get there and Mistral and Russell come in with a cake. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's a birthday party.
yeah.
Like he invited people. He's having like a little surprise, not surprise birthday party for me. Because then there was a cake and there was champagne. Well, I knew he brought the champagne because, you know.
It came with you.
Right? It came with me. And I was like, okay, this makes sense. I understand why we were here. And then all of a sudden people started turning up and I'm like, Russell really invited people. Mind you, it happened at Lime Grove. When we got to Lime Grove, I asked for a table for 3. Because I had invited Erin. And I was like, it's only us. You know?
Because Mia, myself, and Amory had COVID.
Oh yeah, we were all locked up.
I didn't want to be the one to say
Guys,
it. I was waiting for somebody else.
We were locked up. They won't let us out. No.
So y'all know already that I was just gonna stay home.
We were so sad that we missed it.
I was just gonna stay home. But they actually stayed on the phone with me the whole time to like ensure that I got down the road. They were like, y'all in the car yet?
Even when she was getting out of the car, she was like, you know, I still don't feel like going in. I feel like I should just go back home. We were like, no.
Big
You
facts.
have to go in. Russell needs you there. For no reason.
No reason other than he's like, you know, like you're at all his gigs, like you should go.
You know? And he, you know, it's your birthday.
Yeah, like why you know this? We can't even hang out, so you need to go someplace nice.
Oh my gosh.
All that. We telling this girl.
Girl, it was seen too much. I didn't see it coming. I honestly did not see it coming.
I was even trying to convince you to come and let me paint your nails.
You remember?
To my door.
This time, right? I was like, y'all have COVID for my birthday. Like, I was pretty sure, like, my nails, I really don't give a, like, I don't care about the nails.
Right.
We were so worried about
like,
these
don't
nails.
worry about
I'm
the
like
nails.
super insistent about this nails thing, you know, like
I was like,
come to my house.
Me and Brian polishes like the month before. We were ready to go.
I was
But
working
then
on
there was a
it.
whole plan.
There was a whole plan.
When the rain came in, the polish came in actually.
Yeah.
They were all on the same trip.
That's crazy, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, your mom bought it in.
Yeah.
And Sean always coming through.
Always
Come on,
through,
clutch.
you know?
And then
Always.
she's come through with the alcohol.
Always.
Hello.
Should we talk about last night?
No.
Of course she'll say no. So I have a question. Off camera. Right? We were having a few discussions, but what I really kind of wanted to know, and you kind of touched on it earlier, was what's the difference in experience for you as somebody who's queer, who's lived in Barbados, but now, well, you've lived in Germany, so living outside of Barbados, what's the experience like?
Yeah.
Let me start by really reinforcing that this is my experience.
Yeah,
And I'm not
yours.
talking about
Anybody
anything
else's.
else. You know, for me, it just felt easier. It felt like nobody was going to be like, wait, you dressing like a man? Like, it wasn't all of that. And I appreciated that. I appreciated that, you know, I was buying the clothes I wanted. I was doing what I wanted. I was going to work dressed the way I wanted. And I didn't feel unprofessional. I didn't feel I was disappointing anyone. I was being myself and it was okay.
Yeah.
And I think for me, that's what I don't like here. Where I feel this pressure, like I need to do my hair a specific way or try to do a little makeup or like put on lipstick if it's an important event for people to kind of be like, oh, well, she's still a girl. Whereas I didn't feel that pressure over there and I enjoyed that. And I was able to also take the train and go to Berlin, which was another city and it's more artistic and people are a little bit more liberal. And even in being there, for me, what the twofold with that was like, I was not only able to be queer, but I was able to be queer and Black. And I think for me, that was one of the best feelings in Europe, because in Europe, you can feel very like, I'm Black, and that's the first situation I need to deal with before I deal with the fact that I'm gay. So it was nice to be somewhere and be like, I'm gay, I'm Black, and I'm hungry. Like, it's just good. So yeah, you know, it was just good vibes, and for me, that is why I think I want to spend more time outside of Barbados, because I think, at least for now, while I'm in my 20s and I'm growing and I'm developing, it's just nice to be in a space where my anxiety is around something other than being who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that you mentioned that you're in your 20s. Like, how old are you?
27.
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
And you're doing all this stuff?
Yeah.
Live, honey. Come on.
We love it for her.
Yeah.
We do.
Live.
And you know what I love about you? I love that you are so authentic to who you are.
Yeah, like very, very
even,
genuine.
Even I met you at EBCCI here in Barbados.
Yeah.
And even then, like, yes, I can see the growth and I've seen how you've grown and developed. But you were always you. You didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think for me, and I take that into my professional life too, like, I think too much of times our parents have kind of taught us, like, you need to be happy when you're in the room. And then to be happy in the room, you kind of need to shrink and you need to conform to whatever's happening. But I want to be me in the room always, like, because you realize with the whole acting thing, it's going to come out at some point.
Yeah.
And I just prefer to be myself and be like, I can grow from who I am. But if I'm acting, then I'm just like putting plasters on things that aren't real. So just always chill enough to be myself.
Listen, we need to make that a thing.
All the time.
These are some bites that need to be like PSAs that just, oh my God. I see why you're good at your job now. Look at it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Wow. No, I am taking notes. I am probably taking notes here, honestly.
Yeah. Be careful with that.
I mean, hey, get ready, world.
But you see what I mean? You see, like, you see, it's just amazing to me. Like, it actually is amazing to me because I also work in a very professional setting. And I'm always like, okay, just breathe. Because I'm in Barbados still. Right. And I'm still working in a place where I don't always agree with what's happening. But even when I say the things that I don't agree with, you kind of very quickly get shut down. And it's not that I think they're trying to be negative or trying to be mean to me. It's that they have been living in this world that shuts you down. So they're just like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, instead of let's try to make it work. They're just like, from all their experience and all that place, you get to this point where it's like, no. So then it actually becomes really hard to still be yourself and still be true
it's
to you.
stifling.
You know?
Like, do they even remember what yes sounds like anymore?
Exactly. You know, and how do you grow from a place like that? So it's like, it's really amazing to see you and to see who you are and to see that you've always, because even here you were like that to me. I know you're in a different space now, but even when you were here, I remember that of you. I remember you always being very much Shani.
Yeah, I think there was this quote that I saw when I was like young and confused. It was really like, it was like one of the most harmful things that you can ever say is, this is the way how it's always been done. And I think as we grow and develop, and even as the world becomes more open to things, like, I just don't want to be doing it how my parents did it. You know?
Exactly.
And ask questions and make changes.
Yep.
Exactly. And I think too, because I've also been in professional situations where you come into a situation and you have colleagues who are like, oh, well, don't even bother with that. Yeah. Because this person's going to say no and this person.
Yeah.
Like,
I had a lot of that when I started.
Yeah. And I think you just get like, I've always been the person, okay, it didn't work for you.
But it worked for me.
I'm going to go make a joke here, honey. This is going to work out for me because I don't think that you can't live life with the no. Like, it can't always be no. And even when it is, it's also, no is a moment to take a step back and think about the approach.
Yeah.
It's not always like, no, never. It just might mean.
Not right now.
Not right now. Which is what I've learned dating females.
I like that.
Not me. I'm like, I like that. Why is my strap like? Guys, my strap is so strapping, and you know what? It's giving. So we're just gonna go with it.
I have that effect oftentimes.
Yeah, it's not gonna fall out.
Sorry, we try really hard.
Don't worry, the titty
Mom.
So I'm just gonna pull us all the way back to a focal point.
Yes.
Yes.
One of the discussions I wanted to have on camera, right, was what we were talking about earlier about marriage. Like, I actually thought you had really interesting views. Well, you know me. I think everything. No, I'm not going to say everything. Pull out all
She's
the way back.
surprisingly traditional.
But yeah, like I actually find you interesting because you're very unique. But you're also like the things, right?
I feel like this is the beginning of she's differently able.
Well, I just mean that. What I'm trying to articulate, but doing a very bad job. Keep in mind that I'm about 4 drinks in.
Shani's the only one that heard that. Best believe.
4 drinks in.
Yeah.
It's
so can I get a refill?
Anytime, honey.
To be fair with the behavior, maybe not.
First of all,
I'm gonna message my fiance and see if we can get another bottle in here. Did y'all hear that? Fiance.
Yes.
Does there a bottle?
I love that, like, heterosexuals take time on this stuff.
Right?
Yeah,
Lauren,
like, gay people are really trying to get married in the 3rd week.
What?
Yeah, no, like, I feel like as a queer person, if your relationship... Yeah.
Moving in, doing... Y'all be doing more.
I can't do the moving thing, but let me tell you, I be writing sonnets like after the first date. So I already
First
know.
of all, I've never had a sonnet written to me, and I feel
Bella.
very,
Yo,
very
I wrote
right
whole
now.
songs about a man's like
Yeah,
Why have I never gone a song
use
written
your
about me?
skills.
with thousands of views.
Oh, is that body song?
Calling us a pad more. But back to that conversation we were having before. I don't even know where do we want to jump in.
I feel like we were talking about equity in relationships and how we look at how we would divide things and
Yeah, it was
how we
very
even
split.
approach it. Like, because I think I can't remember which one of you was like the idea that somebody will want a prenup,
Both of us.
like
Yeah.
bizarre, means
Yeah.
that you don't trust the relationship to
Yeah.
work.
No, I think that's more personal, like as far as me
Mm-hmm.
and Lauren.
For me, it's definitely a personal thing.
yeah.
For me, it's me
I
personally.
can understand it for other people.
Logically.
Yeah. So Johnny Depp should have gone a prenup.
Oh,
Definitely.
big facts.
Definitely, logically,
facts.
I understand the idea of a prenup. You know, I just, like, for me personally, I feel that when I'm in a relationship with you, when I've decided that you're the one, right? Just know that even when and if you ever think about divorcing me, I can be there. I'm going to be like, oh, okay, we want to talk to a divorce lawyer together. That's fine, babe. You want to get divorced? All right, we're divorced now. Okay. So I'm just living next door to you. Is that what divorce means? I'm just living in the room next to you, and we're just
Right.
we're just doing
Basically,
everything
we're not
together.
really apart.
Oh, we're traveling. You're traveling. Oh, okay. So
Where are we
what
going?
seat are we sitting in together? You know, are you booking the flights or am I booking the flights? Because just know that
You're going nowhere.
you it's just me and you forever, baby. Whatever you need
That
to figure
sounds
out,
terrifying.
you
But
can
I
figure
get
that
like
shit out.
What is it Cardi B said? We in this forever.
forever.
You know, at some level, and I guess like for me, because that's where I'm coming from. I'm like, okay, so what you want prenup for?
Yeah. So where are you going?
Where you going?
Where are you going?
I
To
mean,
be
fair.
fair,
When I said I do, I meant
To the
forever.
grave.
Forever, ever.
Yeah.
That may be a little
And in the
crazy.
afterlife too. Don't you get
Exactly.
you go in there, you find somebody else.
We gonna be down there together.
Exactly.
this really sounds like a
Meanwhile,
hostage
so
situation.
So really, this
They
is
love it here.
how things go.
They love it here.
You know,
We hope.
we hope.
I mean, I hope so too. At this point,
But if you
because
don't-
they is stuck. Like, there's no going out.
Yeah.
But you were mentioning something really interesting about how you viewed relationships. Would you like to share? Now we're rolling.
Well, I think I've never entered a relationship, and again, I'm pretty idealistic and optimistic, and I date crazy people, so I should stop.
Oh
that.
God.
But I've never entered a relationship not thinking of forever. But I have also professionally worked really hard to develop my craft and develop my reputation. And I've done that singularly. So when I think of my money and my investment, like even now, I'm paying for a master's myself out of pocket. Like, I don't want anybody to feel entitled to that. And that doesn't mean I'm walking into a relationship being like, this is going to go to shit. But this is me identifying that I've watched a lot of things that I have entered go to shit. So for me, I just want that backup. But I do think as women, we often don't get the respect for the part that we play in building things. So from that perspective, and I think especially in a heteronormative culture, like, women don't get the respect that they deserve for watching kids and making food and ensuring that the husband isn't disturbed when he's doing something. Yeah. Exactly.
That's so funny.
But yeah, all of that is building a brand or a business. And I think that's important to note. But just for me personally, like, again, and I haven't met the right person yet. So it all depends. But where I am right now, half of what I have, I think not. And I mean, let's just be clear. All I have is a MacBook, but you can't get half.
That's not true. But I do understand things from your perspective. I think other than like money wise, you're very, very traditional. And I do feel like if you were in like a long-term relationship, you would take care of your partner.
Yeah, no, in
other ways.
Yeah, because she's giving that energy.
Yeah.
For sure. Look, my parents have been married our whole lives, and I watched that, and
well, that's beautiful.
I
hope.
also want, whatever type of relationship it is, if it's a friendship or whatever, I want people to know that I'm reliable. And I think
you are.
Yeah, for me, it's just a really major thing because I've experienced a lot of people who aren't, and I don't want to be that. And I think love at its core is about that reliability and that trust. Yeah. So for me, it's like, I don't feel like I would want my wife to be like, what's going to happen now? Yeah. Like, I would want to have those kind of things sorted and provide for her. And I think it also comes from having a film background, I'll be honest. Like, I think we've seen all the fairy tales, and I want to be somebody's fairy tale. Yeah. Like, I want to be the right person.
Girl, I'm drinking drinks. Don't make me emotional, okay? Like, I want that for you, though. I really do.
Yeah, I think
you seem so sincere about it.
It's nice, and I've obviously, despite the fact that relationships have ended, I've had the benefit of caring for people. And I think there's just something nice and really beautiful and remarkable about helping people in whatever sphere that is. And also not becoming people's trauma, I think is a really major thing. Yeah. Like, I'm sure I've done it inadvertently, but my source is always just to be good to people. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's it there. And outside of all the jokes about the forever and the we dying and going to heaven together, turning into a tree.
I was serious about that. I was not
turning into a tree.
Turning into a tree and just hugging each other and dying and turning into a tree.
He's gonna eat my fruit,
right? Wow. And our kids eat the fruit.
I don't think that sounded how you wanted it to.
I do. He's gonna turn me into a tree that bears fruit.
So the assumption is that
he's gonna eat the fruit from that tree.
So my assumption is that
I don't want to be the last person to go. Honestly, I don't know what I would do if I had no aim.
I love the final say, so
He's not allowed to leave me up here alone.
Yeah,
she put her foot down, Amory. I'm sorry. It's a wrap. You gotta hold out.
You gotta stay, buddy.
You gotta hold on, homie.
But outside of that, like outside of the finality and the thinking like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also always want to leave room for people to grow and change, as we all discussed. But I also feel like even in a case like that, I feel like there's part of being, and maybe it's because how young I was when we got together and how much I've grown in the past 8 years.
Yeah.
So like for me, when I become a millionaire, because it's gonna happen soon.
When, not if,
Right?
when.
Come on. It's called manifesting.
Right?
Look it up.
And be like, if anything ever happens, right, and we get divorced, of course it won't.
It better not.
Come on.
It can happen.
It's not gonna happen.
But if by magic, like some magical thing happened, and like we weren't supposed to be together, we were only supposed to have these like 3 amazing kids, and we were supposed to just be best friends.
Damn, it's 3 now? I thought it was 2.
Oh, 3 came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
3 came out of your mouth.
Oh shit!
We have it on
I find
camera.
myself saying 2 a lot recently, and I'm just like, who's this other child? I only wanted 1.
It's only 2. It's 1 and a spare.
I like how y'all here multiplying. Go ahead.
Right?
Oh,
My role is to be a
No.
godmother, okay? That is my chosen role in
1
life.
is enough. Who's this other child?
These are the 2 kids, right? But in all of that, I always feel, right? Like, I feel
Almost start with
100% that Russell is entitled to half of what I have. Because he has put in the work.
Yeah.
Even if it's 100% me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a master's.
Yeah.
But 50% of me having a master's is
It's
Russell
because of
supporting
Russell,
me.
yeah.
That is true.
And
I
when
saw it.
When I was like ready to quit and curse, so everybody and crying and can't do it because I get a master's in a pandemic, right? Russell was there though.
It's true.
So how I gonna know? Come, right? After I've made myself because of his support,
And
right?
be like, you're not entitled to any of this.
Bizarre. It makes sense.
But he entitled to half of what I have, even though before we're married.
Yeah.
And after we get married, he can still be entitled to half.
Exactly. You know what's crazy about us having this conversation about, heteronormative relationships? For some reason, I don't know if it's like Caribbean women in general. Like whenever we have conversations about how like I would like my company to be split as far as if anything was to ever happen to me, or we would never get separated or divorced, but if for some random reason Amory did something stupid, because it would have to be him, it could never be me.
It would never be
and we ended up divorced or separated, I would still want to make sure that he was taken care of, because at the end of the day, like I still love you.
Yeah.
Like even if we're not together.
Yeah.
And I know that part of the reason that my company is eventually like worth hundreds of millions of dollars is because you were supporting me and you were there and you were like cooking for me when I was working and not able to take proper care of myself.
So you see
and making sure that I was still eating.
Yeah.
That perspective is how I know that I have not been in that situation yet. Like, I can't imagine like having in my head like we fall apart, something happened, whatever, and I still want that care. You're like, fuck you, differently. Like, just salt dog, like bye. That's how I feel, And it's not to say that like I want you suffer, but I also ain't trying to be out here still taking care of you because just so like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
I honestly don't know what he could possibly do to hurt me to the point where I would sit down and think to myself, like, you deserve nothing after this relationship.
yeah. But again, I have never been in
Yeah.
that situation. So I don't have any experience with that perspective. I can't even like wrap my mind around it. Like outside of observing you guys and I guess my parents too in a way, like,
Oh my God, I love your parents.
they're
Your dad is like so romantic. I love it.
Listen to me.
I love
Listen
it.
to me. My father is white. I'm single. I'm convinced because like the men is don't like this. Don't be doing the things.
He's amazing.
Like I want you to know, right? Me and my father planned a joint Valentine's Day dinner one time, right? When we were, I had a boyfriend at the time. It was really cute. It was so cute. And my dad was like, "Oh, your mom loves seafood," and he went out and he bought a whole bag of seafood, mixed seafood, to realize, oh shoot, maybe we should not get mixed seafood because everybody don't eat octopus and thing, right? And sat down and handpicked out all the goddamn shrimp onto this bag.
Oh my
so
God.
we could turn it into a shrimp pasta, and they help me sit down and do all the shrimp, and help me light candles, help me buy candles and light candles to light up the whole place. Went outside and strip up bougainvillea petals, stuff it all over the
He
place.
is so cute.
Like, my dad
I love
is
it.
bomb. My mom was just like, okay, that's cute. Right? Because she's not that person, right?
Yeah.
But my dad is very like dynamic and like huge and very like, I will show you like how much I love you. So like, when a man comes to me with none of that, like, how am I supposed to respond?
I
Like, do you
love
even care about me, bro?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Which
that's what it
is
feels. He
the
said me up.
joys of liking men. But
Right.
yeah, you know.
Just like, you could have better things, but you don't want to go that side.
I mean, no judgment.
But judgment.
Yeah,
A little
definitely.
bit, just a little bit.
Definitely. But no, I feel the same way. Like, you want that romance. And again,
Yeah.
like, I really respect the relationships that you guys have. Like, I know your
Yeah.
partners,
Beautiful.
and especially with you, Jerry. Like, I'm really good friends with Amory. And I think there's also, like, for me, this level of, like, that your relationship allowed me to realize the things that I have in my head are attainable.
Correct.
Which is like, yeah, I do want this like forever thing, and it's gonna happen, and it hasn't happened, but it's gonna happen. And then maybe my perspective on prenups and
Yeah,
you
maybe
not
that'll
having
evolve.
this will change. But at least for all the exes I have now, like,
Nothing.
You do
Yeah.
tend
You
to
get
date
nothing.
some crazy ones.
yeah, and I feel like if I saw them on the road, I might ask for something, not give. Because it was hell. But yeah, no, I really got to work on that. But yeah, it's just
I feel like when somebody is good to you,
You want to be back
you
here for
want
that
to be-
person.
yeah. So I feel like the day will come.
Yeah.
It's the best way to put it.
I
The day
guess-
will come.
my difficulty with it all is I felt all these feelings. So I felt the feeling of this is my person and I want this. Like, I don't ever want you to have to think about anything ever again and all of those feelings. But those things can change. At least in my experience, they have changed.
Yeah.
Because I just think human beings can become monsters, to say the least.
I mean, it's not always like, you know, roses and rainbows. We fight. We argue.
it's
We
not-
get very angry at each other sometimes. But in all of that, like, I still love you and I want to take care of you. And I feel cared for in my relationship. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't I want that for
There
you?
are people that I love, and I've learned to just love that from a distance.
Oh my God. Preach.
Because I also think, at least in my experience, and I can only speak for myself, there are people who will also take advantage of kindness.
Correct.
Yes.
That's been my experience.
And I can push myself so much to like think about everything. How do I be the nicest, even in complete trash situations? And you know, there's no medal at the end of the day for being nice. So
You know,
Wow, I don't see myself as a nice person in general. I feel like I'm nice to the people I like.
and this time I remember
I was
meeting
about to
Jerry.
say I agree,
and
but I
being
realized
like-
that wouldn't sound good.
I was like, shut up, Jerry.
That's one of the nicest people I know.
I'm not.
Meanwhile, I had a totally different experience. I was like, she's not gonna like me. I'm just not cool enough for her. Like, she's not gonna like me.
It amazes me that y'all think cool.
Right?
No, you
What
know
is
what?
cool?
You know what it is? Like, you are like very fabulous. Like, you're very like well put together and like very like, you know,
Amory's over
I
there
have my
singing all
shit
like
together.
No, she's
Like,
not.
that's the energy you get.
This is my Jerry outfit.
Okay,
This is
then.
the most fabulous thing to date. I could have
Oh my
God.
Amory's over there singing
Right.
all like, I remind her to eat food on a regular
No,
basis.
when I
She's
think of
not
like,
put together
who I want to look like,
But you
I think
give
of
that. You give that energy,
Yes.
though. So like when you meet you, it's like if I don't have enough of my shit together, like we can't sit at the same table. Like that's how it feels a little bit. I'm not even
You're
gonna
all
lie to you.
allowed to sit with me.
But you see, like talking to you now,
Yeah, like, no, we know.
actually, like
Yeah.
actually getting to talk to you and actually getting to know you, you know that you're actually way more inclusive than that.
Yeah.
Because I definitely don't have my shit together.
Same.
We're definitely cool. Right? But yeah, like, it's different. It's different.
You know, we never see ourselves the way other people do.
It's true.
That's the truth.
And I think y'all are amazing.
Not me about to
Hold
cry.
on.
You know, like hold on. Give me a minute. Shani, I need your shirt sleeves.
I don't know, girl.
I don't know you like that.
Honestly though, like Lauren, obviously we know is like super smart. She's
It's true.
amazing at like any kind of communications. Like
Big facts. This is why she does the opening for the
amazing.
show,
We
basically.
leave her to do all of the talking with
can cry.
everybody. She will get us all of the things we need
Correct.
for free.
Correct.
Stop it,
Amazing.
guys.
We have
Mia?
gone places that don't make sense.
Actually, you're the only person I've ever seen like perform live that made me like cry, and I was very embarrassed because I'm a gangster. Like we don't cry.
Girl,
What are tears?
She said it was
She's
embarrassing.
definitely made me cry before, like watching her perform live.
Jeez.
I remember the day my favorite cat, not my favorite cat right now, but
Lord.
at the time was my favorite cat, Merlin, died. I came and I watched you. And you should see me there just crying and just being like almost feeling
And you been looking
touched
around
and
like,
soothed
no,
by
is
the
anyone
music.
else seeing this?
And the guys at the bar, we were actually we were on the West Coast, out Mullen side. Right?
Oh.
And the guys at the bar just started bringing me like drinks because they were like, "What's wrong?" They were like,
Are you
It was
okay?
a champagne drink. Right? They were like bubbles kind of. And then they're like crying, but like laughing because there was such joy in watching you perform. It was a wonder. I don't think we were as close yet. This would have been the start of your world, like when we became close. But it was
Because I remember when the cat died and I was like, oh man.
yeah.
Honestly, watching you perform is a very, very like emotional experience.
It really
And I don't get that from anybody else.
Emery, if I cry, please to take out my ugly cry face. Like put an emoji over my face or stand up.
Actually, the first time I saw you perform and Emery told me he knew, I was like, oh my God, I have to meet this girl. And I don't like meeting anybody.
Oh my
like,
God.
I do not like talking to strangers. I don't know if y'all get this from watching me, but I'm very, very introverted. Which is why I think people think that I'm like,
That might be-
stuck up and
Yeah, that might be what's good at
but I do not like to talk to like new people. That's not my thing. And I was like, you have to introduce me to this girl. She's amazing. And Shani, like,
Whoa.
I feel like your personal life sometimes.
The gas is coming.
It's very interesting. But
That's a word.
your professional life though
Bomb.
is goals, honestly.
Bomb.
You know what? I actually genuinely think that you are a good representative of what we should strive to be. And not to gas you.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm actually just a little scared because
Right?
I'm like, girl,
No,
you
but
think so?
Hear us out.
I've definitely heard all of your interesting stories,
Right.
but I do still think that you professionally, you're so like put together and very
She's true to
methodical.
herself.
Yeah,
Yes.
and honest. That's the
Honest.
thing. That's the thing.
Because you don't have to be.
Yeah. She's like super, super careful and detailed with everything that she does professionally. I wish you would bring that into like, the people that you date, but professionally, amazing.
But I don't even care like that if you bring
Honestly,
it into
goals.
who you date or not. Because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. And here's what I found out, what I think I know about love. Right? And it's just me thinking, that's why I say what I think I know about love. Right? When you figure out how you want to be loved, you will find somebody who loves you like that. Because you'll stop dating people who don't give you what you ask for.
Yeah.
She doesn't
Right?
give herself that breathing room though.
Right. But
Yeah.
you will. If you
Eventually.
find somebody, so then you won't ever feel like you're giving too much because that person is giving you equally. So you'll be giving, but you will be receiving just as much. You're almost going to feel like, am I giving this person enough?
Yeah. Like, am I
Right?
doing a good enough job?
But that person is going to be equally loved. And then when you fight and you see all the bad sides of the people, you're gonna remember that you have bad sides too, and you'll get to the point where you're like, okay, well maybe we can stop fighting and we can sit down and talk.
Yeah.
And you'll get there, you know?
I think the heterosexual illness that I suffer from is that like wanting to fix people thing. And I think in relationships, I will see the red flags. But I'm like, you know what? Like, I'll love this person.
That's
They'll
only
be
me,
like,
boy.
Really good.
No, we got the same problems.
I tell people I'm a cutoff queen.
Yeah.
Right? When you see the first couple of red flags, you need
That's
to
what
figure
you
out
did.
what it is that you can live with.
We need to go to their class.
But you need to cut that person off and don't let yourself, don't fall in love with people who have red flags or opposite to what you want in life.
Yeah. Furthermore, while I was still dating, like if I thought at any point, probably like before the dating stage, if we were like just talking and I felt like there were red flags here, or maybe you weren't somebody that I would want to be with long term, I'm not gonna bother to date you. I don't have time.
Fair.
I'll be honest. One of the major things for me, and again, this is for me, I feel so strongly like, obviously women, and I date a lot of pre-heterosexual women. Let's call it that. You know, they've had these traumas that they've suffered from men and a lot of these stereotypical behaviors. So like from the time I sleep with a woman, I feel like I have to stay in that for at least a while, because I don't ever want to be the person who's like slept with you and be like,
what's a while?
this is crazy. Well, enough time where like at least 13 red flags have gone off and I'm still like,
This is crazy.
You know, to get to those red flags.
In opposition to that, like, I am one of those people that I like to be healing for the people around me.
What?
And hear me out. Like, not in the sense that I want to be in a place where it's easy to hurt me or whatever the case may be. But I feel like a lot of times, and I can speak about it from dating the males now. A lot of men don't have a space where they're allowed to be vulnerable, where they're allowed to be hurt, where they're allowed to be angry, where they're allowed to feel all the things that they're feeling. So they're just reactive, right? Versus actually sitting down and feeling the feelings and talking it through and understanding why they feel the way they feel, right? And my past relationships have been a lot of, I'm listening to you, I'm hearing you, I understand why you feel this thing, how this thing hurt you, and I'm okay with you being hurt. I'm okay with you feeling these things, as long as blah, 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 right? And in some ways that's good, because at least they have that, you know, they have that space where they can feel safe or whatever to be vulnerable. But are they providing that for me?
I was just about to ask you that.
Right?
Exactly.
So that's where I know where it gets.
That's it.
Yeah, when
exactly.
I fall apart, are you going to be there to provide this for me?
So ironic. I had this argument today.
Oh, watch out. Give it.
Oh,
Share.
Well, by the time it comes out, it won't be yesterday, so they won't know.
They'll know.
But
will they?
it really is a thing of like, so for me, I'm always open to feedback and criticism. I'm not going to say I'm like the perfect person at always embracing it in the moment, but I am a person who always reflects on the things that people say and think, is this a beneficial thing to like work on and all of that stuff. And I was having a disagreement with somebody that I was dating, and they were telling me these things that they didn't like about me. And I was like, okay, cool. I can work on that. And I think in the whole of our relationship, I have worked on things that they've mentioned they didn't particularly like, or they felt like, you know, I'm really a person of endorsing, look, I'm 27. I don't have it all figured out.
You don't know everything.
Cool. But then I gave her feedback, and it was just like, we don't need to talk if you don't want to talk. I was like,
wow.
Yeah. I was like, okay, well, if all you can do is give me feedback and I have to sit here and take it, why when I give you, is there this like, I'm going to run away from this? And I've always found that. And yeah, I think I'm at that point now in my life where I'm like, no, No. Because
fair.
I'm not the only one with problems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly it. Like for me, it's about finding somebody who gives you enough so that when they're telling you, okay, babe, but maybe, you know, when you said this thing yesterday, this kind of how it made me feel.
Yeah.
Right? And you can be like, oh, well, that's not what I want for you to feel.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand why you felt that way. And I apologize that you felt that way. And maybe I can work on it.
Yeah.
Right?
But you guys are seeing how this is all coming down to communication.
Yeah, I've only ever had that with Emery though. Like me actually like feeling bad for something that I did. Because before I would just be like, okay,
I am unrepentant.
I hurt your feelings. So what?
That's your feelings. It sounds like a you problem.
But you find a person that is like that for you. And I think that,
Like made me accountable.
yeah. You know?
Nice.
I think also too, like, at least in my experience, I found, and this is ideally why I don't date people under 30. People don't give a lot of wiggle room for growth. I think people always, I have an expectation of what this perfect person is. And if you're not that, like,
Shove off.
yeah. And for me, it's like, I give people so much wiggle room to grow and to develop.
Too much, to be honest.
Agreed. But I also think, like, we're not going to know nuances of each other in the first 3 weeks or 3 months of dating.
I
There's
think
a
if you
lot that
ask the
needs
right
to be learned.
questions and you have the right conversations from the very, very beginning, because I'm that person that needs to have everything out on the table. I will not date you unless I know certain things about you.
Yeah, I think at core, and this is why I always, character and behaviors are always different things for me. So I will fall in love with a character of people, but I'll correct you on your behaviors, because if it don't work for me, it don't work for me.
Yeah.
Like, and we can fix that, or we can work towards something that's a happy medium. But I find people often take remarks about their behavior as an attack on their character. And then everybody just shuts down.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay.
Girl, a friend of mine told me something the other day, right? And I was so mad. When I tell you I was so mad, like I was like, how you gonna come and tell me like how to process this thing, right? And then I wasn't reactive any moment. So I was just like, you know what? Okay, whatever. You said what you said, cool. Right? I'm just going I get to sleep. Right? And then like the whole day, next day, like I was just thinking about this thing. And I realized, you know, honestly, that you can only speak from your perspective. This is how you see things. And let me look at your perspective for a minute. Right? And then it hit me like, I actually like improving on some things, because me 3, 4, 5 years ago, I would just be mad. I would just be like, fuck you though.
Yeah.
Differently. So it's really, girl, mess. But all of these things has come down to like communication and being able to like actually like listen to each other and actually having a willingness to listen to each other.
And apologizing.
Oh, God, apologizing.
Because we're grown up.
That's hurt me though. I ain't gonna like.
Every time I see shit on like social media about women not apologizing, I just be like, that's not true. I said sorry.
I need to talk about this topic, right?
Wait.
But before we go there, right?
We can turn on AC.
Yeah, we could turn on the
Yeah,
AC.
you're
But
dying
also,
over there. The bottle almost empty.
The bottles are lean.
so guys, we are now officially
one and a half
bottles in. And that's me or
bottling by
Jerri.
myself, bro.
Mia's a bottling by herself.
You want some more?
I do. I really do.
I am dun 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 dun.
But what I really wanted
I
to
got
say
a
to
new
you, Shani,
scar. Sorry.
other than I like your star, Mia, Chian.
Thank you.
What I really wanted to say was that I'm actually really proud of you. Like, you leaving Barbados to work where you're working, the way you're working there, you know, you're kind of, in your job, you're just constantly giving back. It's something that I've always wanted to do. But even in your job, like how you are communicating with persons, you know, that's your focus. You're a communication specialist. You're always looking at how to best communicate with people. And it's literally, I'm like really proud of you. I'm really proud of what you've achieved, what you've done, how you've grown and become this person.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't always see like who you've grown from and where you've become. Like you don't ever see that. And I mean, maybe now is a good time to tell you, but you've become this. I mean, you were always amazing, and you were always funny, and like you were always fun to be around. But I think that you've developed into this amazing
blossomed. Yes.
You've blossomed into this amazing person, serving humanity. You know, helping communicate messages that are very needed to be communicated.
Yeah.
So doing something that you love and you enjoy, but also in service of humanity. I really do.
That's dope.
You know,
Even just being able to like leave
Pretty
Barbados and like pretty much just start over from scratch.
Yeah.
Not knowing what you're gonna have when you get there. I think it's really brave.
And
It
for
is.
me, because I obviously would have known you all from time and beyond, like I've really enjoyed this experience and watching you articulate that experience because there's a few things that I learned tonight that I would have never guessed. You know? So you kind of cool though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you can sit with us. You can sit with Jerry.
you're cool, you know what I'm saying?
I understand it.
You know, but I see them.
I don't just be checking for anybody.
I mean,
Oh, fair enough.
Exactly.
Big fan.
We should know.
Yeah.
You're Jerry's friend. I mean,
we should know better. Like,
We
Jerry,
should
don't
have.
say that, to be honest.
Fair enough. All right. Firstly, thank you. I suck at taking compliments, so let me just say thank you.
But look
Let
at
me
you doing
just
a good
say-
job on
let me,
it.
let me just say thank you first of all. But I think, you know, this is going to be an interesting one, but I pray a lot. And I remember I was here and I felt stagnant and I didn't know what the next step was going to look like. And I kept saying, look, I just need to leave. Like whatever happens, I just need to leave. And I didn't know what leaving would look like.
Yeah.
But I felt like I needed a change. And I'll be honest with you, I cannot tell you when I applied for a job in Germany. I don't know when that happened. There were clearly just a batch of I'm putting my CV wherever it can go. And then I got that call and, you know, then finding out, look, the embassy here, they don't do work permits, sis. So I now got to go to Trinidad, got to get on a plane, find accommodation. And this was during the pandemic as well. So accommodation in Trinidad, it wasn't what I wanted.
Trinidad was not the place to
I was legit so worried about the fact that you were traveling alone. Because I was like, oh my God, she's
the
never done
first
this
time.
before. I know she's out of the country alone. Every day I was asking, she didn't know this. She should have never known this. Because now she's going to be like, I'm
Yeah.
your friend.
I know, and you always tell me
She loves
I'm
me.
A. Marie's friend. But yeah, like that whole experience of just not knowing is this really what I want? Like also too, it's in those processes you're looking at contract renewals. So you're getting an initial 5 months with the possibility of a 6-month extension, and you don't know, I could mess something up. And this could not happen. But yeah, I went with my gut. And I also went with God. Like, sometimes people don't really understand, like, when you're queer and you're Christian and that whole dynamic. But I don't think I've done anything professionally that hasn't been from God. And I say that because wherever you are professionally, there's somebody better. There's somebody who could do more work in less hours, who could push it out. And I've been really blessed to have the opportunities that I've had. And I mean, I got to Germany and I was like, look, my bank account ain't really set up that sort of way. And I got to find an apartment and you got to give somebody first month's rent, a deposit and whatever. And then also the pressures of being Black. You don't want to be Black somewhere and be like, I can't afford this. Like, I can't pay you on time and I can't do that because it plays into the stereotypes that they already have in their head. And it was a lot of pressure, especially in those first few months. And I was lucky because my organization had a lot of expats. So we're all kind of in the same boat of like, this is not my home. But Germany of itself, it was a lot of getting used to things, getting used to especially older people just kind of staring at you and being like, so, that was a lot of getting used to. And I think, especially in Caribbean communities, we, and us maybe less because we're so reliant on tourism. So we don't really fully get to blind ourselves to racism or the dynamics between blacks and whites. But having to experience that day to day, like I felt like I had to get dressed to take my garbage out just so I wouldn't stand out or look a specific way. And you start to realize how all those pressures add up. And I had a lot of anxiety. I mean, I have a lot of anxiety all the time, but I had a lot of like, what do I do now? How do I communicate this? And what boxes you place yourself in as well. I would say that I'm just blessed to have the opportunity that I had. I'm also blessed in a sense of like, I had the opportunity that I had, but I didn't have to stay into it long. People don't always understand the joy of contracts and being able to get up and go. But having different things and being able to indulge in different people and office cultures is a really important thing. And I'm happy with the trajectory of my life. I think you can really get bogged down with the numbers and what does this account look like right now? But I wouldn't trade my experiences for anything. I think who I am as a person is made up from the secondary school, sitting down outside in sixth form, spending the day in somebody's car, not doing any work at all, shouting outside history lessons with the teacher looking out the window being like, why are you not actually in this class? Going to UE. Also, UE was a really good eye-opener. And I say that because a lot of people think, and parents apply that pressure of like, school ends when you get this decision of if you're going to St. Michael's, if you're going to QC, you're going to go to UE. And the person from whatever school you thought wasn't great is there. And they're going to be doing better than you. So don't get confused about where you are in life. And also, one of the major things, and I say this to everybody, do not let anybody define what success is. Sometimes success for me is getting up and bathing. And Jerri, you know this.
Well, I wasn't going to saw you all on camera.
No, but it is what it is. And I think the more we deal with things, and I think COVID has taught us like depression, whatever it is you're dealing with, like every day looks different.
It's true.
And define things for yourself. Not your parents, not anything else, not your colleagues. Like, I've had a lot of people be like, look where this person or what they're doing. No. And I don't want people to look at me either and be like, because people used to be like,
preach, right?
You're on a plane every week, so things so great. And I'd be like, okay, but when I get back to Barbados, I can't even buy a pack of chips from Shafat. So, like, it all looks nice, but you really have to define things for yourself. And I'm not telling anybody that my God is the God, but ground yourself in something. Yeah,
I like that.
Because there are days when you really just don't know. And I am really grateful for the experience that I have. I don't always get along with my parents, but I'm really grateful that we were grounded in something that, one, you don't have to be at every party. You don't have to prove nothing to nobody. Like, just get your shit in order, your own self. And be happy with who you are. I think that's the thing too with what makes me feel so like organically being myself. I am happy with who I am. So I don't feel to hide. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect, but I'm good. Like,
that's so cool.
I could be worse.
Oh my gosh.
Girl, you touch on so many things, right? But you were on such a roll, I didn't want to stop you.
Big facts.
Like, on so many things.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I've been like talking to people about anxiety. And for my generation, because I really Also, you're my generation. I keep forgetting that I'm not young.
Yeah.
I'm also not that old. Right?
Yeah, like we in the middle.
I've actually been
We're
saying
not
to
30
people
yet.
Yeah.
And 30 is not old.
But what I've been saying to people, right? Especially people in the generation right above me, right? Who don't understand why we have anxiety, right? That's a big question. Why is it generation who are just like 5-10 years
when they even had to go to the stop up and get in the water?
Why y'all got anxiety?
When they had to count the sheet before they went to school,
right? and like to me, right, it's not even because that's about 20 years above us. And like 10 years above us, right? People who are lawyers and doctors and stuff like that who have had the dream, and I keep having to say to people, right, that for us, right, and it's a little different for everybody, but this is just my experience. You go and you finish your secondary school education. You go to UE.
Yeah.
You finish UE because that's what you're told to do.
Yep.
You have to get an undergraduate degree.
Yep.
Right? Because you have to get a job so that you can do all the things. Right? And if you want to get the step above, you do your master's. Right? But the reason you're doing this is because when you do this, somebody will look at you and think that you're not valuable.
Yeah.
And because you are now valuable, you are now then able to have a job. And because you have a job, you can buy a house and you can buy a car. So you spend your whole
And you can have
life
kids.
and you can have
Doing
kids.
all the things.
Doing all the things so you can achieve those two things. So you can be made valuable. So you can get a job, you can have a car, you can afford things. You can get a credit card.
Right.
God knows when Roger went down and I was in Georgia, I would have been damn well happy to have a credit card. But anyways, we're not gonna go on FCIB and how they can find the time to send me an email to tell me that their banking services are down, but they can send all these emails to tell me about how they can notify
How they
me
got it back
deposits.
up.
We're not gonna go about that. We're not gonna talk about that. Right? But we spend all this time with society telling and defining what this thing of success is. And we buy into it.
Yeah.
So we are now in this cycle where we're trying to achieve something that is no longer achievable.
Right.
Right? And not that it's not achievable because you can't get a job, you go to uni and achieve these
but
things.
it looks different. It
does.
looks different.
They actually moved the bar.
Correct.
The bar that was there 10 years ago is no longer there.
Correct.
Right?
10 years ago.
Right?
5 years ago.
5 years ago, right?
Gas prices was $2 3 years ago.
But they're not employing us
Bus
anymore.
fare.
Bus fare was $1.50, dog.
They're no longer employing us.
Madness.
They're no longer giving out loans the way they were giving out loans.
Correct.
They're no
Correct.
longer giving out all of the things. So we have all these young people who are struggling, who have done all the things we were told to do, who are struggling, you know, and they don't understand
Masters,
what's
doctorates,
happening.
it matter.
Because we've been told for our whole lives that this is how you get success. And we've all done it as
Correct.
a society.
So now it oversaturated.
Right?
So now that we're
We've
done.
all done it. And it's like, what do you do? So when you were talking about defining your own success, right?
Beautiful.
That's literally what we now need to sit down and recalibrate. Because what?
Because nobody
We're
told us
smart,
that.
we're intelligent, we're people who have all these degrees, we have all this understanding, we have a way of thinking about life that is different. So just in that we are successful.
Correct.
Yeah.
But there's nobody there who is like, because we've been taught for so long from the time we were kids in primary school, that this is what you're supposed to do. We're actually indoctrinated to behave this way.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So why do you think we have anxiety? Because we're trying to
We're
achieve
taught.
this thing. Right? We're in it's like a rat on a wheel.
Correct.
Yeah.
We're in this thing trying to achieve this thing that is
We're taught that failure is a bad thing. We're taught that if we don't do all the things, then we've somehow fallen short.
yeah.
We're taught that we only have value
Yeah.
when we accomplish these things.
Yeah.
And then somehow you're supposed to be okay when you leave school and you go to get the job, you don't get that particular job you
Exactly.
wanted. You're supposed to feel okay when this thing don't work out the way you want it to work out. Like, how?
Exactly.
You're not taught how to cope with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you make a different choice, you're
You're
also
crazy.
taught that
What are
exactly.
you doing? What are you
Not
doing?
Not brave.
No, what are you actually doing?
Insane.
Right?
Why don't you have a backup plan? Like,
Exactly.
what is this thing you're doing?
I think I was lucky in the way that I was raised, that I never had any of this forced on me. Because I was always like super creative, everything as a child. And I'm lucky that my grandmother recognized that early, my mom too. And they never felt like it was necessary to force like certain things on me. So I was very, very lucky that I had that. Because I was never going to sit down and work in an office and do paperwork all day.
It's true.
I think it's a mix.
What's funny is that I enjoy it now. Like,
you're all right with it now.
But I don't want to be like just limited to doing that.
No. I think, and I really want to thank you so much for coming through tonight because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I thought this conversation was gonna be like a bunch of laughs, like right through because you're funny and I know you have like a billion like really hilarious stories.
Yeah. Oh yes.
I know that, and that's kind of like what I know of you too, right?
The belly laughs that I've had to hide.
But what I'm particularly grateful for tonight was the intelligence and the poise and the not just the regular charisma, because you're always charismatic. We know this,
Thanks.
you know.
But the little sound bites.
Yeah, like the wisdom that was dropped tonight. So thank you so much, Shani, for coming through.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think that we should end with a couple takeaways.
Come on.
Be yourself.
Always.
Yes.
Always be yourself.
Be yourself.
You know that you're always in a position to grow.
Yes.
Right? And you didn't quite say this, but I'm going to put this in just from seeing you. Always take the risk. Always jump.
Yes.
Jump.
Because you've done it twice now.
You've done it twice.
And it worked out, right?
It worked out.
Londons were pretty cool.
I'm so happy to see you. Like, you are such an inspiration to all of us.
I'm going to give you something that I've never given you before.
Oh, God.
But I actually love you a lot.
Wow. Oh.
Jeez. We're gonna drink to that, people.
So we can end this tonight.
I think so. I think we have to end there.
Guys, welcome back.
This has been a really, really good welcome back episode.
It really has
you.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for having me.
I missed this and I'm really glad that it's happening again.
Yes.
Let's go to more growth, to more wisdom, and to more of this.
Cheers.
So I'm Lauren.
And I'm Jerri.
I'm Chian.
I'm chilling.
We are a couple bottles in at this point.
Bay Fats.
What did
See
we
you
cheers
next
to
time.
last night?
Oh my
Long live
God.
Aunt Donna?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Donna. We love you. We know you're here with us right now.
She's drinking with us all
You
now.
are. You really
Always
are.
drinking.
We love you.
Oh.